Hello and welcome to the Ending Body Burnout Show. We are your hosts, Chris and Philly, co-founders of a multi-award-winning functional medicine practice, serving busy people with energy, mood and gut issues.
While busyness, addictive doing, people-pleasing and perfectionism might be the norm, it's not normal, and it's a major contributor to health issues.
Our goal with this show is to give you a holistic root cause approach to healing your body so that you don't have to continue doctor or diet hopping or popping a gazillion supplements hoping something might stick.
So get ready to heal your body, get your spark back, deeply connect with yourself and step into the life of your dreams.
Let's dive in.
Hello, welcome to the podcast today. I am your host, Philly Ballette, and today we're actually pulling back the curtain to give you an exclusive peek inside a live workshop from our holistic healing program, the Ending Body Burnout Method. So you will today be experiencing firsthand how we create a transformative healing space in our weekly workshops that we run for our clients, designed to support our clients in between their one-on-one functional medicine consults and root cause coaching sessions. So today's episode is part of a workshop that we ran with clients a year or so ago called on a powerful brain rewiring technique called Graded Motor Imagery. So graded motor imagery is used by many people, including world-class athletes, but today's focus is on how we can improve the brain and the body's communication with one another, especially in chronic health conditions. And we'll be doing a large focus on chronic pain today as well in the episode. So graded motor imagery is a wonderful way of rewiring the brain's response to tasks or triggers that then cause the body to show up with symptoms. And there is a huge amount of peer-reviewed studies showing the effectiveness of this brain rewiring technique, including improving chronic muscle and joint pain and things like fibromyalgia. So we have seen inside our clinic and inside our program how GMI techniques improve other symptoms like gut pain, headaches, food and chemical sensitivities, dizziness, fatigue, anxiety, and abnormal stress response to triggers. And we want to take you through how you can change your response to your own triggers and turn off unwanted sensations in your body and mind. So I really hope that you get a lot out of today's episode. It's going to be a really practical one. And if you're feeling inspired by today's brain rewiring episode, you won't want to miss our upcoming free 3-day live event, Rewire Your Brain to Heal Body Burnout. That is happening on the 10th, 11th and 12th of February. I really hope I got those dates right. And if you would love to work with us, if you really resonate with today's podcast, maybe you've listened to other episodes and you have had on your dream list, I want to work with Chris and Philly one day to end my body burnout. Today is the day, well, maybe not specifically today, depending on when you're listening to the podcast, but the doors will be opening to those on our wait list on, let me just pull up the date. I believe it is the 9th of February. So for 2 days, there is a secret early bird access for our wait listers. That means that if you're on our wait list, you will get early bird access, so you'll secure a spot. We only have limited spaces. I think that I need to go and actually count up how many clients we can welcome into the program, but it's usually around 25, 30 clients. And so you'll be able to secure a spot, and you'll also get exclusive waitlist bonuses worth over $500. So if you're interested in working with us, head down to the show notes and the link will be there too to jump on the wait list. All right, let's dive into today's episode.
Okay, so today we are sitting in nervous system regulation, but as we always say, everything interconnects with each other. So it doesn't really matter where you are personally in your spark journey in terms of working through the course content. But today we're going to take you through a graded motor imagery, which is a really specific brain rewiring technique. This isn't something that we've got specifically in the nervous system 21-day rewire, so it is different, although you'll notice that there's similar elements in terms of rewiring neural pathways and regulating the nervous system as we take you through it. I'm curious if anyone's actually heard about this or has tried graded motor imagery and what your experience has been.
Well, and then also, can I share my experience with this? Like term? Yeah, well, like, you know how you asked me, you're like, have you ever...
Hang on. We've got a slide there.
Okay.
Hold your horses.
Sorry, jumping the gun.
So let's talk about what it is, and you can share your thing soon. Chris hasn't seen these slides, so I want him to be surprised when we get to that part. Cool. New to me. Yep. Also new. Awesome. All right. So the intention today is to understand how the brain holds a map of your sensations. So in nervous system regulation, the last topic or module is around getting really good at understanding, communicating, feeling, experiencing, holding space for sensations, and then essentially learning what you need to do in order to switch those off. So we'll also show you how you can use this technique to regulate your nervous system and rewire the brain and sensations. So this is what it is. It is a powerful technique used to improve the way the brain is communicating to the body. And in people in chronic health issues, graded motor imagery helps to rewire the brain's response to triggering tasks and situations, and thereby switching off unwanted sensations. Anyone who was on, when was it? It would have been a few weeks ago, we did the breaking trigger response workshop. This is kind like, it's different, it's similar but different, and it's going to give you another tool to add into your tool bag to help break down those trigger and responses. And it's also useful for building up your nervous system to different sensory sensations. So often what happens when you develop chronic issues, whether that's mental, emotional or physical, there can be dysregulation. Even when you think about performing certain tasks, activities, we'll talk about what that actually looks like. Sometimes that's conscious and you are aware of it. Sometimes it's happening unconscious because the brain is experiencing these triggers over time and creating a dysregulated response to them. So it helps to build up your nervous system, and graded means you're gradually increasing the trigger activity, so the exposure to it, but also then your experience of it. Now, graded motor imagery there's so much research. If you search in PubMed, you're going to come up with heaps and heaps and heaps of research studies, and a lot of it is around physical pain. I won't go into like the specific studies, but I just wanted to share this. This is, again, external evidence. It's like evidence that this could work for you too. Especially for people with pain, but this can be applied to any type of sensation, physical or emotional, that you're experiencing. So there's a research study that showed that graded motor imagery is really good for complex regional pain syndrome. So that's like fibromyalgia. You might have actually had a real injury in the past, healed from it physically, but your body's continuing to hold on to pain. This one showed that graded motor imagery can get rid of phantom limb pain, which is pretty cool because you don't have a part of your body, but your brain continues to send pain down to your missing hand, and you can rewire the brain to support that. This one's specific to chronic shoulder pain. And then the last one also shows that graded motor imagery can help patients with stroke as well to recover from stroke and build their mobility and motor neurons back. So tasks and movement. So traditionally graded motor therapy, the word motor is more specific to your physical body and how your body is moving. So in those studies, they would have supported a patient to do certain tasks, and usually it's movement of the body, whether that's mopping, or vacuuming or sitting down or hanging the washing out, like all those functional stuff, or maybe even exercise. And these movements were causing pain, using graded motor imagery to rewire the brain to say those movements are actually safe, then the pain disappears.
We have a comment.
Compartment syndrome.
Oh.
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I've heard of it, but I can't give you a... anyone want to throw...
Like locking it away, suppressing, that sort of thing. Is that what compartment syndrome is? I'm going back
Might have to do a Google.
my university days.
Okay, so it can be... So wanted to share those studies. So there's a lot of research around it. People like physios, orthopedic practitioners, not all of them, but some of them are taking these on as standard care to support a patient in their recovery to pain. Now, what we've seen clinically and a lot of other evidence in the natural therapies is that graded motor imagery can also be applied to other types of physical sensations, like gut pain, headaches, what else is there? Even like chronic fatigue and also emotional sensations. So especially things like anxiety, overwhelm, abnormal stress response. Because essentially it's the same thing. You get triggered by something that is safe, but over time your brain has deemed that as unsafe. So it's created neural pathways to send signals to whether it's your emotions or your physical body. So we can use this same practice to rewire the brain.
Just double checking, doing the standard Zoom thing just while we're here. How's our sound? Is it all right? Just double checking. Thumbs up. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Cool. And some other examples of triggers might be, and as you're reading here, these are all things that just happen in daily life. So sitting down, picking up a child, bending over, could even be eating patterns, whether that's eating and food in general causes pain or there's emotional pain around the way that you eat. Specific foods, so food allergies, sensitivities, could be specific smells, chemicals as the trigger, stressful situations and environments and people. So again, if we go back to the workshop we did a few weeks ago on breaking trigger responses, it's all the things that you would have mapped out if you were on that workshop. Okay, so essentially, brain has deemed these daily tasks as unsafe. And it's doing so as a protective mechanism. It's like, this is unsafe. We need to continue sending pain so you can return back to safety. But we want to retrain the brain to say, hey, it's actually okay to pick up my kid and it's okay to bend over and it's okay to eat tomato. It's all safe. We can return back to normal function. Okay. Any questions so far? Good. Pop them in the chat box if you do. All right. So how this also be? Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Response to work. Look, I would say it doesn't happen. It's very rare now. I've noticed occasionally sometimes if I'm leading up to my period, I might get like a little bit of a response, but it could even be like your inbox. It's like, an email's come through. That used to be a massive trigger. Anytime I saw a new email, I'd be like, I'm in trouble. Open it up and it's like, hi, you've got a bill. All right. So how does this work? So basically graded motor imagery. So the word imagery is that we're using our imagination, which is the best tool you have inside of you to create change. And you're imagining yourself doing the task with ease and comfort. But before you even get to that, and again, it depends on someone's level and response to the trigger. Usually you would start off actually looking at someone else doing the task or activity or being in that situation. And then you're assessing your sensations in your body, your emotions, your thoughts. How are you feeling? If there's any kind of discomfort, even looking at someone else doing the thing, then that's where the work starts. And we'll take you through what that looks like. And then you're gradually getting to the point where you're then imagining yourself doing it. And you want to get to that point where you believe that you're doing it. It feels good doing the thing, eating the food, smelling the chemical, bending over, whatever it is, being at work. And your body will follow your mind. So over time, you're creating new neural pathways simply by imagining this new reality. Whoop. And in the brain, so the part of the brain we're working with, you've got the motor and sensory cortex. The sensory cortex is basically a virtual map of every body part and every sensation in your body. And the motor cortex is how you're actually performing different things with your body, with your digestion, with your detox pathways. I'll read this. So the sensory and motor cortex holds a map of the body. It has millions of neurons living here that represent all parts of the body. And when you use your imagination to see yourself perform a certain task with calm and ease, it sparks the neurons on the virtual map, retraining the brain that these normal functions are perfectly safe. And over time, and it doesn't have to take years and years, by the way, it can be fast. Over time, this will become your new reality because your neurons are mirroring what you want to see and what you're imagining. Okay, so also I just thought I'd chuck this one in.
Hey, that's me.
So graded motor imagery is also really commonly used in elite athletes. Chris used to be an elite athlete, picking people up and putting them over.
Hey, I was very humble.
I was very humble. What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm humble.
Okay. Did you want to share what you wanted to share? I just really wanted.
Do you want me to tell you this story?
I just wanted to throw that in. That again, studies done with graded motor imagery and elite athletes performing way better with their bodies after they've been imagining themselves performing in such a way. And that's how you won, or came second, I think, in national strongman competition. Not because you were the strongest or the second strongest. No, you tapped
This is like a backhanded compliment. It's like you did really well, but you weren't the best. You weren't really good.
No, your mind was stronger than the other blokes.
Oh dear. Okay, so can I backtrack a little bit?
Go
like
for
when you
it.
said, "Hey, motor imagery, grade motor imagery. What do you know about that?" And I was like, "Oh, the word itself, like not really 100% sure." And she's like, "So Philly taught me." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I do that all the time." She's like, "Yeah, I know." I'm like, "Oh." And so, well, before I talk about competition, I actually think when I'm training somebody, let's say some sort of an exercise, let's say a human press. Like you walk up to your brother-in-law and you say, "Hey, how heavy are you?" "I'm 110. I reckon I could press you over my head." And he's like, "No, you couldn't." I'm like, "Let's do this. Cross your legs, cross your arms." Goink. Going. I think I pressed him like 5 or 6 times. Anyway, before you do anything, it's done up here. You have to have the idea of it. And when I'm teaching someone or coaching somebody to do, say, an exercise, like bench press is a better one than a human press. You got to see it. You got to see yourself lay down on the bench. You got to see yourself grab a hold of the bar. You got to see yourself and feel yourself in your mind's eye, in the movie in your mind, feel yourself squeeze the bar, feel the knurling in the bar and in your hand, know how that feels, and you breathe in your head, and then you notice yourself take it out, you press it up above your chest, you do it for the number of times, you feel your muscles contract as you're bringing it down and you're pressing it back up, and then you hear it as you put it back on the rack, and your eyes are closed the whole time. And I'm teaching somebody to do this before they've even gone to do their bench press. This is athletes all the way to house mums who've never, or even girls who've never done a bench press ever before. And then I'm teaching them how to do it. Then I say, okay, now just take a moment, see it in your head. Don't touch that bar in real life. Don't grab that real bar until you've done it in your head. And so they would do it in their head, and I'd be quiet. I'd watch them, and I'd see them doing this. Right. And then they lay down, they grab a hold of the butt, and they do it in real life. And personal bests were set, medals were won, humans were pressed, brother-in-laws were pressed. Nobody was injured in the making of this. Look at that.
Does anyone, so now that you understand a bit about what it actually is, and it's quite simple, you may potentially already be doing this in some way or form in your daily life, or I'm curious in the chat box if you're like, oh, yeah, I do that. And this was the result, or has been the result. Fiona, love this. I have a question. Yes, awesome. Questions are good. The example is hanging out the washing aggravates my back pain rather than triggering it. As in, the pain exists already, the action only makes it worse. Should I actually be starting from zero pain? Yeah, so we're gonna take you through the process right back to the start. But yeah, you would want to be, first of all, imagining or even looking at a picture of someone or a video of someone else hanging out the washing with like calm and ease. That's sort of where you start. But you do want to start with zero pain when you start imagining your own self doing that action. Yeah.
I also would think imagining and visualize. You know how I said, okay, grab a hold of the bar and you pull the bar out and you do your bench press repetitions, feel yourself, hear yourself, notice yourself. And then once you've done it in your head, open your eyes and do it in real life. You could do the same thing, Fiona, for your washing, and just, you've got in the back of your mind, I've had back pain before. I know I've had back pain. You could say, you could imagine yourself realistically. I'm going to go out there, and I'm noticing myself when I raise my hands above my head, and I start to get that pain come on more intensely. I can see myself just stopping, moving, doing some movements, some rotations, all that sort of stuff. I'll put my arms down and then I'll get back in. And you notice yourself doing it that way is another example of visualization. And then you could also add on to that over time is like doing what Philly just said. I see myself not having any pain when I go do this. I think there's two ways that you could go about this.
Yeah, but essentially, if you think back to the motor and sensory cortex of the brain that holds the virtual map of all the sensations in your body, to do this so that the result is zero pain, you do want to imagine zero pain.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But it's graded as well. So to get there, it might be, oh, there's still a little bit, but if I shift my body like this, that kind of like eases it. That's okay, but still even easing it, there'll still be a virtual map that, oh, we still have some pain, which is, if that's what you want, that's what you imagine. If you want it to be zero pain, you want to get to zero pain imagination. Yes, Dove, exactly. So imagining, practicing, visualizing, being that healed version of yourself. If anyone, and I know some people have done the 21-day rewire, part of that when you get to it is spending some time, can even be like just a minute, 60 seconds, of imagining your future self. And that could be 3 months from now or 5 years. It doesn't really matter, but it's the same technique, because what you're imagining becomes your reality. And what we're doing specifically tonight is like literally changing the way that your brain is mapping your body and your sensations. Yeah.
Just Fiona's one. But it's okay to actually have some pain before I start the physical action.
Yeah, you're doing it in your imagination. Yeah. So you probably will have physical pain in reality, because that's then why you would practice it to then not have it in reality. Was that your question? Like you have pain, yeah? Or you can come off mute if it's easier.
I think you're good to go.
Are you able to unmute her?
I can do that. Done.
Yeah, I think I'm jumping ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
You got it? Yeah, I think I'm jumping ahead a little bit. What I'm getting at is, I want to be able to hang the washing out without pain.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be visualizing that occurring, But like obviously the pain is there in the first place, and this makes it worse. Yep. So just trying to think how. Probably just wait and see what you're going to do. But do you know what I mean? Like instead of it's not something that everything's fine, and then I do something. Oh, that hurts. It's like the pain's already there.
Yeah. So we'll go through that. Jen, usually you would start off with just one movement. So if we're talking about back pain, it would be get really comfortable with that one movement and richly imagining doing that one movement or task without pain. When I was doing this for chronic back pain, it was really hard to do that because the moment I got into the process, I'm just like, oh, and now I'm seeing myself do this, and now I'm doing cartwheels on the beach, and now I'm doing this without pain. And it was fine because it worked. It kind of depends on where you're at in terms of richly imagining. So the more that you practice this, the more that your new reality opens up to you. So it might even, there'll be other movements and stuff that you can imagine as well, and you can do that at the same time if that feels better for you.
Yeah, so even like existing causes pain.
Well, it would be like maybe it's even like starting from the very first part of your day, you wake up and you sit up out of bed, and that might be a good place to start because then it's going to trickle on throughout the day. Yeah, cool.
Catherine had one when I had laryngitis in school. You might have to read that. My glasses.
When I had laryngitis in high school, I imagined singing my performance and acted it out. So when my voice came back, I felt super prepared. Yes. Yeah. Not just athletes, but any type of performance you can improve using this type of modality. Rach, I kind of do this when going to work in one particular class, one that I really do not like working in, and imagine that it is a great lesson with no issues and really feeling into the feeling of walking out of the classroom. Like sigh, that was a great lesson. It helps to settle the stress response. Yeah, so cool. And connects back to your win that you had at the start that you shared, that you're feeling more flowing in work. So it's working. So good. All right. What do you mean, David? Doesn't this put heavy pressure on you in terms of like responsibility to heal yourself? Yep. You will one day die. Do you want to have a great, pain-free, calm, wonderful, sparky, joyful life, or do you want to have a crappy life and then die?
I guess nihilism like that there's no point. Life has no inherent meaning, so who cares? To me that's I've never vibed with that. I've never agreed with that viewpoint because I think that I believe that life does have meaning, and two, I think you can make something of your life, and yes, we're mortal, and yes, we're gonna die, but from personal experience and also that's what Philly and I that's our primary message, is that you don't have to be a zombie, dead but still living. You can actually not just be alive, but you can thrive. I have all faith that Fiona will walk out to the washing line, lift her arms above her head, or maybe even get a stool, and so she doesn't have to lift her arms up above her head, and maybe she'll have a washing line that she doesn't have to lift up her arms. Maybe the point is something else entirely. But I believe wholeheartedly that there is a way for Fiona to not make things worse by doing something basic like hanging out the washing. Firmly believe that. And she's going to die. Sorry, Fiona. One day it's going to happen.
One day you will die. Look, I like I like that you put that in there, David, though, because this is the experience. I have a feeling that you're feeling a sense of heaviness having this conversation, which I've just put in a Word doc, and this is all part of it. It's like, how does this feel for you as you're entertaining the thought, the possibility, the reality, the belief that you can be fully well? And just like everyone, pop in the chat box. I'm curious, and just be completely honest too. How do you just everything that we've covered so far, if you could put that in one word, how is it making you feel?
I just see this as a like, with all the love that I can muster, this is a defeatist victim mentality. Victims have no agency, no choice in the matter. Something is going to get you. I think that I can walk down the street and something's not going to get me. But a victim would think that something's going to get me.
Yeah, and that's just like a piece of data that it's like, without looking at that with judgment, this is coming up for me. What might that mean, and how can I break through that in order to have a beautiful and happy and wonderful and healthy life? Awesome. Yeah, cool. Inspired, powerful, yes. Optimistic, hopeful, empowered, excited. Now, again, we actually recorded a podcast. I think it'll be going out in August, maybe in a couple of weeks, but we shared this really quickly on the podcast that Chris came out this morning and he said, what are we going to do? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Elsie, this is our youngest. She's just like, she's so tough.
Can you speak softer?
Oh, sorry, everybody, if your eardrums are bursting.
No, the children outside.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. She's fine. She's watching a movie. And I'm over here at my Zen water filter, filling up my cup of filtered water. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's wonderful. She's so cute. She's very easy to manipulate in a really loving, kind way because she's like little putty in my hands. So Chris and I, I just wanted to share that, where it's like a bunch of people are feeling excited, hopeful, optimistic about this, and then some other people or a person
and then
feeling heavy.
And then what did you say to me? You said, I think this is a you issue. And I'm like,
oh yeah, I said, I don't think this is an Elsie issue. I think this is a you issue.
Yeah. and then I said, okay, well, frustration with others is frustration with yourself. What am I making this mean about me? I just said the same thing I tell you guys to do. And then I just thought, yeah, okay, cool. So guess what? Fast forward, quick sticks, you get straight to the crux of it. Okay, I'm unlovable is my deepest root cause. So if I don't have, if my daughter doesn't listen to me, then I'm not being loved. I'm not being respected. I've wanted to be a dad since well before I met my wife. I want to be the best dad that I possibly could be. But here's my daughter not loving me. What is her behavior got to do with her not loving me? And then that gave me some cause for introspection. And it was really nice. And then I let go of it, saw it differently. And when she got home from school, I was had a really good time. Yeah, had a really good time. So it just yeah. Frustration with others, frustration with yourself. So what am I making this mean about me? Bang. So quick.
We're going to move on to the how-to, David, but happy to come back to that question or thought bubble that popped up at the end. All right. So I have put in the Word doc, a Word doc. Hopefully that works. Just let me know if you've been able to open up that Word doc that I put in. That has all the same questions that we're going to go through in the slides. And I've done it as a Word doc, so you can just quickly enter your thoughts into that, or you can use the chat box as well or a piece of paper. Okay, so again, if you were here a few weeks ago or listen back to the recording to the breaking trigger response workshop, you probably already know a bunch of things that are your triggers. So you kind of want to start there, and then just select, like for the purpose of today, and even if you're like, okay, I'm really going to practice this, say for the next week or so, selecting one activity / trigger from your list that you'd like to re-engage in. So just give you like a couple of minutes to kind of think about that. And maybe pop in the chat box too when you've got something so we know when we're good to move on. And if you need some examples again, I'll pop the Word doc in the thing again, Marg. There it is.
So it's just in the chat at the moment.
Response, like Erin's was a really good example that even the thought of ice or someone touching me, I get nauseous. So in the Word doc or whatever you're writing on, have a little bit of a brainstorm, and we'll probably just do maybe 3 minutes or something, just so that you can get some information out, start really paying attention to your sensations, emotions that come up. Yeah, okay, Fiona, already thinking about the dairy, the heart is racing. Mm-hmm. A big one for me, yeah, you can put that's just, wow, that's a big piece of cheese. Yeah, okay. So this is cool because as you're starting to Google search some images, you might actually find that, that tiny slice of camembert cheese. Yeah, I feel okay with that. But whoa, when that cheese is bigger than my head pops up into my awareness, it's like, and really you want to get comfortable first of all, looking at those, even if it's a bit of a cartoon example of the trigger, to just feel really comfortable around that. And you might also notice maybe some memories pop up. You might notice some stories or some beliefs or some secondary gains that pop up as you think about and look at these other images.
That was the cheese.
The cheese. Well, at school we pick readers that kids can read 98%, so they experience success at reading and can then go up a level.
Oh, yeah, good.
So essentially that's what you are starting to do when you're doing the graded motor imagery. It's start off small. Like what's the smallest thing that I could start imagining to integrate into my life that isn't going to cause any issues? So going back to the cheese example, maybe it might be actually, and this is what I did to overcome dairy issues, and now I freely eat it whenever I want to without any issues, is I was richly imagining it first. And I was doing that, I don't know, like for a few weeks before I even tried actually eating it. But I didn't choose to eat that first. I chose to eat, I think it was sheep's yogurt or cheese, because that's usually less reactive to the general population anyway, and then build it up from there. Can you bring up the slide?
I was having fun. Oh, wrong one.
So this last question at the end, especially if you're having a physical sensation or feelings of anxiousness, and probably even Steph with the sadness as well, just imagining, and to start off, imagining someone else performing that task. And if you're now at the stage where you're imagining yourself and you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious, or you're having a physical sensation that you don't want, stop, take a breath and ask yourself, can looking at images of other people and imagining myself doing this, is this actually harming my body's tissues? And so the more that you can send those signals that it's like, no, it's completely safe just to look at other people doing the thing, and then me imagining it, that starts rewiring the brain to say, oh, okay, so it's changing the map of your sensory and motor cortex part of the brain. Okay. Catherine, I think you got a question.
I think it was about Fiona's, like my story to Fiona, like, could I choose this? I avoid lunges because they cause right knee pain. Same. But the pain is from an old cartilage injury. Same. Did you get it from slam dunking as well, Catherine?
But yes.
But sorry. I was just going to say, why not?
There's a lady, I follow her on Instagram. Her name's Kate. Can't think of her handle. I came across her recently. I mean, these types of people always show up in my feed magically. Must be the algorithm. She's got thousands, I don't know, maybe 100 or 200,000 followers, so big following. But when I started reading her content, even her, so she still has bulge discs in her spine. She has knees that don't have cartilage. She was told, as most people are, that you're going to be in pain for the rest of your life and you just have to manage it. But now she still has physical structural issues showing up on MRIs and scans. And she uses these techniques and nervous system regulation, and she has no pain. So it's possible, because it's not just the pain starts in, like if we're thinking about the knee, for example, and you have an injury, it starts in the body, but the brain then takes over and continues sending those signals to the knee, for example, even though the knee might be healed or it's out of the acute inflammation phase. And that just blew my mind, because I'm like, oh, wow, okay, my belief around chronic pain has even just changed even more. You can still have a bulge disc and not be in pain. Cool. Okay. Pew.
Deb, I haven't restarted walking as an exercise for a few months. However, yesterday I had to wait 40 minutes for my car, walked around the block, stopping at a couple of shops, and no PM.
Okay. Any questions with the worksheet in the Word doc and the questions that we've had on the slides? Any questions that you've had so far? I am mindful of time, that it is 8:00, so you can continue brainstorming, looking at images, paying attention to the sensations, emotions, feelings that come up for you, and responding to those questions. But I did want to finish off with taking you through a guided graded motor imagery process, where you're taking all that information that you've just brainstormed and close our eyes and enter into the unconscious to create some deeper unconscious change, which is then creating neural pathway rewiring at a deeper level. Thank you so much for listening. We so appreciate you. If you'd like to give us extra smiles, drop us a review and spread the love by sharing this episode.
You can also rate your own state of burnout and the root cause contributors by taking our Ending Body Burnout Assessment on our website. And if you're interested in learning about our group or one-on-one Ending Body Burnout programs, shoot us a DM via Instagram or Facebook.
Have the best day ever.